Sì, un attimo che pulisco, lucido, veloce qua, adesso ho appena cominciato, andiamo di là e facciamo quel video lì che volevo fare per spiegare. Sì, ma tu hai già acceso? Damn, it's already on. Wow, okay. I'm just here quick polishing my last ole ball, and then we go over there. This one now looks very old, but it's actually a new violin, and a new violin you polish with a little bit of shellac, a little bit. You don't varnish the instrument with shellac, you just polish it a little bit. While on an antique instrument you would never take now here the shellac and put another layer of shellac on an antique instrument. Yeah, on antique instruments you invest a lot of time to take all these layers of shellac off, but a completely new made instrument you have to build up to get a little bit this nice shine, and that it is a little bit more appealing. Okay. It comes pretty good. I think this is really nice. Now the original ole bull would cost probably, yeah, I guess it would be 15, maybe even more million, 15, maybe 20 million, yeah? Let's go over there and I tell you why I made this decorated instrument, ok? Oh, faccio giusto chiudere veloce queste cose, questo lo puoi già. Yeah. Hop. Hop. Così. Yeah. This here is shellac, oil and alcohol. This is on a new instrument you build up to make it shiny and glossy. On an old instrument you would rather take a wax and oil, like my instrument cleaner, which you treat it, you get a little bit of TLC with something like this on an old instrument, but you would not polish it with shellac. Let's go over there, come on. Huh? Allora, mi metto qua da qualche parte, così, opla. Si vedono i violoncelli e anche tac. So now let's start actually what we were wanting to talk about. I guess the message arrived that I made this decorated violin. It's probably the most expensive and most precious modern violin which has ever been made. The opinions are completely opposite. Most of the people love it, how it turned out, like it, how it looks like, appreciate my effort, appreciate how it has been created, and some are completely, no, this is completely something you don't need, this is kitsch and whatever. We don't need to talk about now if somebody likes now one thing or another. It comes down to one point actually. Actually, there are two considerations about the entire project. That what appears nowadays as something completely nonsense and it doesn't, and nobody needs it, is actually a single maker, now let's say in violin making, but this is for the car industry, this is for every kind of object which is out there in the world, that somewhere somebody made something super crazy, and because of this challenge he faced, and he had to make things different than has been created up to that point, new dimensions have been discovered, and this turns down, which is a benefit for everybody. That's the reason why competitors, violin makers, love to make violin making competitions. They try to give their best to a specific time of their making, and in this period of time you learn a lot. Me myself, I made a few violin making competitions. I'm not really too much into this kind of world, especially when I feel that things have to be changed just for the jury to make something nice. But this precious instrument I made just because I like the challenge to decorate it with a very innovative, very precious, extremely expensive material, which was the crystalline osmium. Most of you don't know it. Most people write down that it is poison. It is not poison because it has been treated, and it is a crystalline. Once it is crystalline, it's not poison, it's very precious, and it's the rarest material on earth. And that's the reason why it's so expensive. It is a still very unknown and undiscovered investment object, and with this violin we made an object that the world is looking to. What can you do with it? Up to that point they were only made watches, and the idea popped up to make an instrument. Beside that, this is one part which I as a maker liked it very much. I cannot afford to own that instrument, I'm just making it, okay? Like a construction worker is building in a house, that doesn't mean he's the owner of the building, okay? So if you believe that I'm now already a millionaire, you're wrong. I would love to, but it's not like this. This is one thing. The other thing is that I wanted to point out as well how important it is that you, if you invest in something like the future owner of this instrument, let's say, to invest in an object like the violin, which sounds good, is beautiful, and then when you do these things, one of the most important ingredients when you buy an instrument as an investment as well is that you know exactly who made it and where has it been made. I have seen a lot of people owning very nice instruments, usually on Stradivari, Guarneri's and Amatis now, more or less. All the fake and horrible fraud things which have been made in the 50s, 60s and 70s and maybe even 80s have been sorted out, and nowadays it's pretty difficult to fool somebody, and the ones who are fooling are probably risking quite a lot. It is now considered a crime. But still, there are a lot of sales on antique instruments going on where people are pushed to make an investment. They show them papers on makers who, referring to those papers, are the makers of that instrument. People buy, and then later on I get those instruments into the shop, or I meet these musicians, and I don't want to be the one who tell them, you know, this is a lemon, but it's not original. And there are, believe me, from all the antique instruments out there, probably 80% is fake, because the demand is so high. I get every day in some requests for instrument, let's say for 100,000 or 200,000 euro from the 17th century. You don't find anything for that price, okay? This is just nonsense, and as soon as there is a big clientele who wants to invest in this price range and they believe they get for that price something from the 17th century, they will be fooled, yeah? Most people don't know about what they buy, and from the 17th century, an authentic work within this price range you can forget, yeah? Within this price range between 100 to 200,000 you get instruments, authentic instruments from the 50s and the 60s, and those instruments are not even 100 years old, okay? The decorated instrument I made, the most expensive one, is certainly a unique piece which underlines actually also how important it is that you know who made it and where he made it. And making an instrument like this, I just want to show to future investors, even if they want to invest less than that 3.5 million, let's say, that you can make something authentic. It sounds great. You have an idea, you tell what you would like to do, and we can make it, and it becomes a unique piece of art which maintains its value because of certain precious materials inside, okay? And this is actually the point. If you don't love the osmium, okay, then we go on diamonds. And you look how the diamonds go up in price, and then you can follow, beside that the maker is increasing its value over the years, also the diamonds, the gold, and all these kind of things. That's something I just wanted to point out. I enjoyed it extremely. The instrument has not been sold. It's probably turning around the world now for approximately 1 year. It will be shown in major big cities around the world. My partner here is Kurt Assam and Charlie Großschädel. They're organizing in this very moment. They're evaluating who wants to see it, where it goes. They have a list of cities. And the big issue is certainly also the insurance. As long as there is no insurance, once the instrument arrives, we cannot exhibit the instrument, and this makes things a little bit complicated. I hope you have the chance to see the instrument. If you would like to get the instrument in your area, in your country, leave it below, let me know. It would be interesting. Right now the instrument is in Vienna, Austria. And so we don't have to worry here because I don't have actually the infrastructure to be safe enough. We'll see, maybe for Mondo Musica I try to have the instrument here in Cremona. I still have to talk to the museum here in town if they are interested to exhibit the instrument. It's a unique piece of art, and we certainly also organize concerts because the instrument sounds great, and this is something I'm very proud of because it's not only beautiful, it also sounds very well, and otherwise it wouldn't have had any sense. Let me know what you think about it. Hope you enjoyed this video as well. Tell your friends, sign up, leave a comment. Your interaction is my payment on this whole thing here on YouTube. Ciao, ciao, bye-bye.